Alright guys, Supreme Copy here. So gonna be going over another multi-mission exchangeable coin unit here. So we are gonna be going over the Build Gundam Mk-II. Yep, I think that's what it is. So in terms of the Build Gundam Mk-II here, we do have a lot of part here. So we have a total of 10 parts here. So mainly they are gonna be some of your weaponries over here. So we actually have three different types of ranged weapon. We have the regular beam rifle, the hybrid bazooka, and then a beam rifle Mark II. So this one does come quite packed it up here, but are they gonna be are they going to be worth maxing out? That is definitely going to be the most important question here. So let's actually take a look at the overall universe and see how it looks like. So that's how the Mark II, the Build Mark II looks like. So pretty much like exactly the same thing as the original one. Only minor differences is going to be the head V-fin and probably the torso, right? All the other part, pretty much remain the same. Maybe the arms wise, they do add in like a little bit of an extra part there, and then that is pretty much it. So let's take a look at the part, after alteration and see is it anything that you guys should be maxing out. For example, I don't think there's not gonna be a whole lot of part except maybe for the arm just right at the bat that I feel like yes 100% max it up because it is gonna be a buffer, so definitely gonna be very good. So in terms of the Build Gundam Mk-II, this is what we are looking at. So let's start things on the head part. Not going to be the best in terms of the raw stat. That is definitely going to be a given just because of how old the alteration is. So this one is going to be a barrier stand gamma here. So just right at the bat, not gonna be like your best part to be grabbing, even maxing out. In terms of these over here, just in terms of long story short, even if you activate this over here, just that 49% increase to your shot defense, you're probably not gonna survive any like a custom EXQ or even like a regular EXQ. So yeah, it's just gonna be very minimal effectiveness in a way, just because of how crazy Paragraph has been. So unfortunate right there. Moving over to the torso, let's see what we have here. Stat wise is it's pretty bad, pretty outdated in a sense. So type wise, like Gundam type, and then for computer, as for the actual word type or the portrait itself, not really. After alteration does not really make this part anything too great, so probably not. I wouldn't really even go for the alteration. As for the first time portrait or the first trait itself is not even that good either. This one is simply a debuff from EXQ time going out, like the actual effects, just gaining a little bit more time around there. Not really the best. This one on the other hand was an actual buff trait itself, like a debuffing trait, then that would be good. But for the timing wise, it's not really that effective. So another part that you don't have to max it out. But as for the arm parts out, yes, this is going to be one of those parts that you do want to completely max out of EXQ, because this one is going to be providing that offense up alpha, so that's going to be pretty good. So yes, this is definitely going to be one of those parts that you do want to kind of completely max it out, so not bad for sure. Alright, moving down to the leg part here, so let's see what we have. As for the leg part, okay. So as for the secondary portrait, I'll kind of consider this one being like a redemption. So when operated on auto, you do have a melee power reduced by 30%, which is actually not that bad, honestly. If you do want to play those tank builds, this is definitely going to be one of those parts you don't want to be adding onto your roster. But overall, in terms of this part, it is only going to be good during auto, which is like not really that good if you think about it, because if you once you switch back into manual mode, this portrait completely becomes useless. So it's good and bad at the same time, so I would definitely call this one more or less like on a given basis. Yeah, but otherwise it's good. But if you guys do have some other, let's say, reduction trait for the leg part specifically, this one is probably not that good. Moving over to the backpack, let's see what we have. We have a Cougar Rush. So this one is pretty much just gonna be that generic EXQ, not really gonna be all that fancy in my opinion. So that's that. Stat wise, it's not gonna be that impressive. So now moving over to some of the weaponry and see are there anything gonna be good. This one, okay. This one, I think this one is definitely very manageable. So this one does give you that, or does have two conditions right there. So for computer and then Gundam type, this one is definitely going to be a very limited part. You do have to fit those two, those like. In terms of your overall build, you must have these two wartag active in order to kind of run it. So this one is a very restricted portrait. But if you do need something as a new player, for example, this one definitely I would definitely say it does help in a way. So not the worst, but just very restricted and very limited, but nonetheless still a very good part to look at. Moving over to the Mark II beam rifle, so the Build Mark II, and what do we have? No, this one is just a completely bad portrait overall, so just get one part of it and then call it a day. As for the Hyper Bazookas, let's see what we have. As for the Hyper Bazooka, it's not the worst. I'll definitely give it that. So first portrait is kind of like whatever, but in terms of the secondary portrait, you do when attacking with physical, shooting power boosted by 30%. So I know that this one is a very limited a limited part as well in terms of the portrait condition. But I feel like you can definitely do make a good use out of it, just because there are definitely some good physical attacking EXCs, so definitely you can definitely make a good use out of it. But I wouldn't call this part anything of a really spectacular A1 part in my opinion. But I would give it the fact that physical could make a great addition, you know, supplementary for the EXC as well. So not completely rendered to uselessness in a way. Alright, we do have the beam rifle for the Mark II, so this one should be the regular one, I assume. As for the portrait, probably not. It's not gonna be all that good. First portrait is kind of bad already. While the secondary portrait, it's not that it's bad, but it's only gonna be for that 15 seconds. So this one is only gonna be good. Let's say if you do not have like a authentic 100% cooldown reduction type build, then having this one as a supplementary is going to be good. Or let's say you do not have any good initial charge boosting for your EXQ, then if you do wait 15 seconds, then whatever EXQ you have that is on, let's say for that first time rotation, they are gonna pretty much gonna be make that availability on that spot, because 50% is quite high right there. So not bad, but definitely just a very niche situation of things that you might need. So moving over to the shield, let's see what we have. Yeah, the shield part is not what I would call like a good part. So overall, in my very honest opinion, I would definitely say the arm is definitely something to for sure max it out. But as for the other part, they're definitely going to be very questionable, because if you guys do have something better invested already, they are simply just going to be for the collection purposes. It's not going to be something that's going to be beneficial to you guys anymore. So I think that is pretty much it in terms of the Build Gundam Mk-II. So not really all that exciting in a way. As far as the EX skill testing out, what I'll purely do is going to be using the combo of this arm right here, and then using the the Kuga Rush over here, because I don't feel like this one needs like a cooldown reduction type build as the demonstration. Simply I will be showing you guys how powerful this EX skill can be, even at base. Let me see if I do have this. I don't have this on alterated, but what I'll do, I will max this one at completely EX skill level 10. I'm not gonna alterate it just because I feel like the alteration does not necessarily make it more powerful. Obviously it will, but not in a sense where it will be performing way better, because I feel like B plus power definitely gets the job done. So let me put this onto a build, and then we'll see how much damage we can output with the army X2 activated, and then using this one here. Alright guys, this is going to be the build. We are looking at a 184,000 melee attack build. These are going to be some of the portrait that is going to be applicable. So I'm pretty sure all these should be activating, because you guys can see that I have these portraits up here. So simply I have these here because you guys can see that in terms of the secondary portrait, we are getting that enemy EXQ damage plus 50%. So I feel like even neglecting this first part of it, we will still be able to output better than what I naturally have for my melee build, just because in terms of my melee build, I'm definitely lagging behind in terms of good, you know, portrait and stuff. So that's why I feel like supplementing these here will still allow me to perform better. So that's why I'm using them. If anyone is wondering like why Why do you have something ace exclusive under melee build? That's why, because I need that damage trait, because like that is definitely gonna be boosting whatever I gotta be doing. As for, let's say, this one here, so for this one I'm purely interested in the 35% right there. I know that this one I am probably 100% not going to be getting that, so that's fine. You know, I still want to get a little bit of it, so that's going to be the overall build. So pretty much everything else does kind of applies up, you know, whatever I gotta be doing. So let me do hop into a quick friend battle and see what is the damage we can get. Alright, we are here, so gotta activate that limit break, activate the buffs, and then we can use the EX skill. Alright, activate that and activate this, and let's see how much we can. Oh my god, that was only one hit, and we were not even done with the whole animation itself. So I think that is gonna be pretty much it in terms of this overall unit. So you guys can definitely get a view of, you know, this unit itself is not really meant for the EX skill. I think in terms of the purpose when they drop this in game, it's pretty much going to be for that aesthetics. I would definitely have to say it is going to be a little bit of that redesign of the original base Mark II. You know, obviously this is from the Build Fighter series over here, so they definitely do have to modify just ever so slightly to make this, you know, quote unquote like a completely brand new unit. But overall, definitely do max out the arm, because that is going to be a very important part trait, or the EX to be looking at. Just that self buffing on the arm part we don't really get too often, especially on a part that looks, you know, semi, being able to cash kickbacks with another kit with ease in a way. At least aesthetically, I would feel like the arm is good. But other than that, all the other part is meant just for the aesthetic, I would have to say, or more or less for the collection purposes, because I don't really see a point into really maxing them out in a way. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it in terms of the review for the Build Gundam Mk-II here, and then I'll be catching you all on the next one.